Hey everybody, I wanted to show you this. I watched a video on BitChute. I actually screen recorded it, but I figured it's something I really probably need to just do on BitChute, but I wanted to show you this article, and I'll just let you read it for yourself. You guys might already know about this. So this is July 26th. July 26th. Huh? Maybe they're from another country? I don't know. I'll let you look through this article. Remember, I gotta play it smarties. Smarties. Man, since I joined the Shooty, I don't even know. Oh, anyway, I just feel like, man, I just don't even want to be on YouTube, you know? All the good stuff is over there, or Odyssey, or any of those other. I've tried to upload on Odyssey. It was a complete nightmare. It took me a while to finally figure out how to do it on BitChute. It was... I am so not techie savvy. And I was thinking to myself, there's no way that I would ever want to live in an AI future. Like, just the way that people talk about, you know? I mean... I like to be with people, physical people. I like to, I mean, it's fun for escaping, like, you know, if you're into virtual reality. I've actually never done, I don't think I've ever done virtual reality with a headset or anything like that. I don't think so. But I remember in Seattle, I would go to laser light shows. That's nothing like that, but I mean, that was pretty cool. But I like to work with my hands and be physical and do, you know, work with people. I don't want to just, who in their right mind wants a future like that? I mean, obviously people are not in their right mind to want a future like that, but I mean, even if we're just taking out all of this evil side to it, it's one thing to watch it in a movie, but then you know that's fantasy. But then to go into reality, and that would be your reality, I could not handle that plastic life. It's plastic. It's fake. It's not real. It's an illusion. It's just brain... What is it? It's not real. Like, when you watch a movie, you escape for that moment. Now, we realize what, you know, we talk about movies, we know, but just to watch a movie for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know, and then you get back into reality. You don't live in it. You don't live in some murder mystery. There's so many good videos I want to show you guys. So come on over to my BitChute account. It's Gaslit Free Search. I really would like you guys to come over there, because then I can just show you all kinds of stuff. But you can just go over there. There's this really good channel I like called here, I'll just move it down so you can, called Alien. And his channel is amazing. There's some really good ones. There's one like Strange News. There's this one doctor. Oh, just even Dr. What is his name? I think it's Coleman. I think he has a channel called Old Man in a Chair. He's kind of a quirky guy, but very knowledgeable. And it's kind of ridiculous too, because he honestly, you know, I mean, he talks about this type of stuff, but he honestly thinks that these people would be willing to sit down and debate him, and like he could make a difference. Like, he doesn't seem to get it, and I don't know why a lot of truthers don't seem to get it. This is all going according to plan. I mean, if we change something, it just, it's been foretold. And we should keep fighting, of course, try. But I think other than fighting, we need to wake people up, because what we need to do is get them to come to Jesus. I mean, that's the be all and end all of it anyway. Once you wake up to the really ultimate truth of the truth, you can't just be healed in this system. No, it's temporary. Because these people, this stuff has to end. Because they're not going to stop. If it was in the Bible that it would say, they all changed their mind, and there's we're sorry, forgive us, and then everything's good. No! We know how the book ends. And people say, it's fake. No, it's not. It's becoming more and more real to me all the time. I mean, to be with people who have gotten something, and you talk to them about it, they're clueless. They can't even see how things have completely changed. They can watch just even the news themselves, and there's enough, even with their attitude, the different people in positions of, the rudeness, the control, the manipulation, none of these people out here can read between the lines. They haven't learned. When you deal with narcissists, for instance, you have to start to really understand what gaslighting is, what triangulation is, what manipulation is. Why they're always putting that carrot in front of you. They're always moving the goalpost. This is what narcissists do. I'll tell you a story about my sociopath. He would borrow money from me, okay? Now, I was an idiot. I should have had boundaries. That's one thing with being a people-pleasing. I don't really ever consider myself codependent. I felt more of I just like to make people happy. That's who I am. I've always been like that. I mean, I've got my bitchy side, and I'm not perfect, and I've done a lot of really stupid things, and I flip out, and I'm a human being. But other people could be more in control than I have been, and then other people could be in less control than I've been. But I react, I think, reacting as a Christian would be, someone who is a God-fearing person, but I reacted as a person who was sick of being hurt. It's defensive. I was defending myself, and sometimes I got revenge on my ex-husband. This is so funny. We broke up many times in our marriage, and it was one time he left, and I cut all of the front and the back of his underwear. So it was very horrible what I did, but that was the most extreme thing I ever did to that person. Okay, this person did a lot. Anyway, I don't need to. But anyway, so people have to learn how narcissists work. They just don't seem to see it. They might see it in an individual, but they don't see it as a power play by people in positions of power. They just don't see it. They can't see the twisting and the manipulating. But I was talking about the goalpost. Yes. So see, I told you that I got that ADD thing. But hey, I just picked it up again. Okay, so moving of the goalpost. So he would borrow money from me, and then when I basically give people many chances. Okay, you're human. You made a mistake. I'll let it go. Okay. You don't have the money to pay me back. I'll let it go. You pay me back, but I think he paid me back once. And then one time he paid me part of it. And then another time, anyway, but each time there was always an excuse. And one time I said, do you have my money? And he goes, I had bills to pay. And what do you think I'm going to do? And like, do you expect me to go to my boss and ask for an advance or something crazy like that? I'm like, so they turn you into the bad guy. And this is what's going on currently. So we're the bad guy, but we're the victim, and we're the empathic person, and we're being told that we're the villain. This is called gaslighting. I'm going to cry right now, but I'm also happy too, because I really understand it. And that is why I really have a calling for this, because it's the gaslighting that has been done to all of us our entire lives, from every level, every angle. It's just, it's so awful that you become what is called, you have either PTSD or complex PTSD. And complex PTSD is derived from early childhood abuse your whole life. You develop, some people develop multiple personalities, split personalities. They develop anxiety, alcohol, drug problems, smoking, borderline personality disorder is part of what could be part of it. You start to attach to people early because you've never had anybody love you. And so you attach to people quickly when they're nice to you. And I'm like, I'm kind of like that. I mean, I shouldn't even be talking about it. When I had my first channel and I was talking about narcissists, I was paranoid because I was afraid of being stalked by my ex-sociopath. And he did stalk me. It took me a year to get rid of this person. I had to change my phone number 3 times. He actually stalked me on Craigslist. I have a cleaning business, and I used to advertise when I was starting out on Craigslist. I mean, I've been doing it for 20 some years, but this is what's so cool too, that I know God has my back, man. I've known it for a long time. I've dodged so many bullets. It's crazy. I get myself into a situation trusting somebody. They completely gaslight you and do all of this smear campaigning behind your back, lying, triangulating you. He triangulated me with his kids, but so he would borrow money. He would blame me. We went to Seattle one time, and we went to the fair. I live in Washington State, if you don't know. And we went to the Ferris wheel, and we went to Pike Place Market, and we went did we go to the aquarium? I don't know. We did several different things while we were there. Oh, we went to the spaghetti factory and that kind of stuff. I always have these kind of things that I hates to say it, but ritual. Just things that are my favorite places to go. I love Pike Place Market and the fish mongers and, all of the stuff out there and goodies and all that, and Fisherman's Wharf, and it's so crazy. It's Seattle. And we talk about Billy the Baphomet Goathead. Space Needle. Man, Elvis Presley. Apparently there was something that was supposed to happen in June 15th, but I'm going to get back to the topic of narcissists and all that, because I think it's really important for people to really understand it. And if you don't, you know enough, but you don't know everything, here's an education on this subject. So, I mean, I've had many experiences. For instance, my ex-husband, I got arrested for domestic violence, but I never touched him. Here's the funny thing. Okay, this is why I know I'm like, I don't know, I've got a protective angel around me or something. I don't know what it is, but even when I've been involved with all that new age stuff, I've been able to feel like I just get out of things, and things, I can start to read people like they're, everybody's got tails, like, mannerisms, or you can kind of tell people are just either detached or just using you, their facial expression. You just tell, I can tell if people are sincere or not. And I hope that you know that I'm fucking sincere, brothers and sisters. See, I'm a Christian who's a newbie, but there's other Christians who cuss, and once in a while, I'm trying to curb it, yes. Some people are hardcore no, and then other people, but I don't want to offend anybody. But, but anyway, the gaslighting, man. So, okay, with my ex-husband, we were always fighting. We did alcohol and drugs. Yes, that was a part of my life in the beginning, and there was a lot of issues. We were always fighting and arguing, and there was cheating, and there was just all kinds of problems, and it was just horrible. It was never... I had a son with him, and now my son's a Jehovah's Witness. My ex is not. He was raised Catholic. Go figure. He's Mexican too. There's a lot of Mexicans that are Catholic, but there's Mexicans that are in every religion, but you can have a Hindu that's a Mexican too. Anyway, so we were fighting, and one time I wanted to leave, and I wanted my keys, and I wanted to leave. He got on top of me, holding me down from leaving. And I finally got away from him. I went outside. I took the phone with me, and I called the police because I felt scared. And so I called the police. They showed up. While I'm waiting outside, I never touched him. While I was waiting outside, the police come. There's two of them, one inside talking to him and one with me outside. The other one comes outside and said, "We're placing you under arrest for domestic violence." And I'm like, what? Why? I'm the one who called you. He's the one that was trying to hurt me and doing these things to me. And he would chase me around there. There were so many times he chased me around the house, and I'd have to hide and lock myself in the bathroom with the phone. Okay, this is how our relationship was. It was so awful. And so they said, well, he has a cut on the top of his nose. Do you know what that means? That while I was outside calling the police, this narcissist cuts his nose and wants his wife put in jail. And it was my apartment in my name. He moved in there with me. I couldn't even go back to my own home and my kid was with him. It was like, this is my home in my name. He's living with me, but he's not on the lease because we were back and forth, breaking up, back and forth. And in the beginning, I was on public housing because I was getting low income, and I was on welfare for my son was little. I wasn't working, and then I ended up going back to work when he got to an age of middle school. When he got to preschool age or something. So anyway, yeah, that kind of stuff happened a lot. So I was around all this domestic violence, but it's so weird because every single time he always got hurt and I never touched him. So he cut the top of his nose. I went to jail, but he cut the top of his nose. Then another time he comes to hit me, and I grab my son's plastic kid table, and he dislocates his finger in the leg of the table when I lifted it up. So I blocked his aim, and he hurt his finger. It was totally bent backwards. And I felt really bad, but he was trying to hurt me. And I just, I'm bobbing and waving. I mean, this is what I do. I should play on a football team or something. So he, and I said, you want me to take you to the emergency room? And he's like, no, I'll take myself. And he was all mad. And well, of course he's mad. I mean, he wanted to beat me up, but he never got to lay a hand on me. He never hit me, but it was always, I was running away from him. I was always dodging it. I mean, I just dodged all of it. And even when I was with that sociopath, oh man. And one time, I don't want to talk about it, but one time I was holding my son, and he went to hit me, and he hit my son instead and hit him in the eye and gave my son a black eye. My son was a toddler, like 3 or something. I don't know how old he was, around that. And I lied to my parents and I told them that my son ran into a doorknob because he was at like a doorknob height. And I lied to my parents to cover for this narcissist. They actually wanted to deport him back to Mexico. And I wasn't even with him. I was such a good person to him. I never asked him for anything. I never prevented him from seeing his kid when we weren't together. I mean, I always let him see his kid. And he would also just be like a Disneyland type of dad, just show up when he wanted to have fun with him, not to have any parenting, which, anyway. Okay, so I was talking about this, but is there more? Yes, I'll keep going. So also when I was dating the sociopath, we went to Seattle. It was like one thing after another. This is the red flag. They love bomb you. That's part of the narcissist love bomb. Okay. What do you think all of these incentives are? It's called love bombing. Okay. They're love bombing you with the 7 deadly sins to get you to do something that you don't need to do and don't want to do. It's bad for you. That's love bombing. So cults love bomb. When Jehovah's Witnesses come knocking at your door, oh, they're your best friend in the whole world. And then once you're part of the congregation, it's all like downhill from there. You just got to study and go to door. You get together once in a while, but then all of a sudden you're criticizing and tearing each other apart, like, oh, sister, your skirt's too short. Oh, brother, your pants are too tight. Your this is that. I mean, just all of this. That's one thing, man, about Christianity. I do not want people going around. I don't ever want to dress to seduce a man or something like that. Maybe I have dressed inappropriate in the past, but you don't go around and, I mean, I know that people say that you shouldn't stumble your brothers and sisters, but also there's just a way to handle things. And some people are just tactless when they talk about things. And you shouldn't blame somebody that you have erection issues when a woman is attractive. It wouldn't matter. And guys are turned on by women in, what are those Muslim garbs.